going to ask permission for all of you guys, but I'm going to hit record so that this can be saved for later. So the basic gist of this session is to help with creating digital things that you can use with your students, whether it's online, through Google Classroom or not. So I'm going to go ahead and present now and show you a slide deck, and then we're going to kind of go into an ask and show or show and tell kind of thing, because there might be some things that that you think of once we get going, or something that you are just trying to do and you can't figure out how to do it. This will be a good time for us to sort of play around, and Arthur likes to call it the sandbox. So the first thing I want to show you is that the slide deck that I'm using, you can see here that this is my personal editing version. But if I don't want to show you that, if I want to just make it so that I still see all my tabs, I'm going to delete everything up to the word, through the word edit. And I'm going to put in the word preview. So now it looks like I'm presenting it, but I still have access to all of this and all of this. So that might be helpful for you in some ways if you're sharing something with your families on a Zoom call or YouTube Live or something like that. I'm all about Google Slides. They're just so versatile. So the first thing, my name is Monica Spillman, and I teach pre-K at Lakeside Academy with Kelly Munson. She does not teach pre-K, she teaches second grade. But I'm a Google certified educator and trainer. So I love to try to use Google, but not just Google, all the other things that play well with Google. So some of the tools are Google, some of them are not, or some of them are just friendly. So these are some things I wanted to share with you. Kelly, if Kelly's going to monitor the chat, so Kelly, interrupt me if there's a question, and just put it in the chat. And I do not mind anyone interrupting me just by unmuting and saying, "Hey, wait, slow down," or "Next, we got this." So, the basics of Google Drive. I don't know if you know just the basic login information that the county office really wanted us to stress to people last week when we were talking about basics. So I'm going to show you this other slide deck really quickly that I shared last week, and I'm actually going to do a session on it in a couple of days when it loads. But you basically want to make sure that you are using the Hamilton County Chrome browser. Please don't use Internet Explorer if you want the best results. If you're on a Mac, you have the choice between Safari or Chrome, I believe. But try to use Chrome as much as possible so that you have the best functionality for the things that you are trying to do in Google Classroom and all the things, because really Google is the one that we kind of play with the most outside of the Microsoft world. So the top address bar is your search bar and your address bar. So you don't have to open up a new Google search page to find things. Just type it in there and it'll go for you. And then this top right corner shows you where you're signed in. So this picture, I know that this picture means it's me, Hamilton County, but I also have me, personal Monica, and then I have me, my class for Google Voice. If anybody has a question about Google Voice, let me know and I will share that at another time. But I have 3 different profiles, so 3 different images, so I don't get confused. So this fancy-haired, old-looking me is Hamilton County, and then this other young one from years ago is my personal Gmail. So those are some basics. Let me see the next slide. Your Google account, you don't have to worry about creating a YouTube account. You've already got one with Google. With your Google account. I'll show you that in a minute. If nobody has any other questions about that, I'll get back to the digital slide activities that we can create. Anybody have a question about that? Oh, look there, it says access. I'm going to change that real quick. So I'm in the preview mode. And so you'll see right here, you can go down to this little settings gear. If you are the owner of it, you can open the editor. If you're not the owner, they can open the speaker notes. So I'm going to go ahead and change where it says Axe. If does anybody have any questions, Kelly?
No, I haven't seen any.
Okay. All right. So I just can't leave it saying Axe. Sorry. That's funny. Okay. Done, and go away. And now I'm back to my preview thing. And then to see your changes, this is another great tip, because people might say, well, I can't tell, it's not different, you didn't update it. You have to refresh when you're doing this, and then see it came up, it's refreshed. So the first thing I want to show you is examples of ways to use Google Slides as an activity. They are so versatile. So let's go back. All right, so I'm just going to show some things that I have open on my computer. So one of the things is creating a movable activity that your students can manipulate things, kind of like they're, you know, playing with manipulatives in hand. They can play with them on the screen. You can share these activities with them in Google Classroom, or you know, just through an email if you want. But the trick to making a movable activity is to create the background as a picture. So this is a blog post by Casey Bell. Let me go to the top. Casey Bell does Shake Up Learning, and her post is called How to Create Drag and Drop Activities with Google Slides. And so this one you could do so many things with. So what she did was she created an activity, and I've seen other people do this actually. Like, you know, Pocket Full of Primary, she does this all the time. Her fourth graders using to make graphic organizers. This video is on Casey Bell's YouTube channel, and it will show you exactly everything that all the steps that she used to create this activity. So the first thing you would do is create your background. So all of this blue and the green, the basket, all of those things are permanent. The only thing that she is going to have the students move are the apples. So you start with a blank canvas, and you have to download it as an image. So let me show you how to do that. So let me go back over here. So I'm going to play around with this slide deck. So if, let's say I wanted to create, let's see, let me delete this, duplicate it, I'm sorry. Right click and duplicate. So now I have these, all of these text boxes that I can delete. So Slides Mania is where I like to get templates, and you can tell this is all a background. But let's say it wasn't a background. Let's say I had done several things. Let's see if we want to insert a text box for them to type their answer. You can give it an outline that looks a lot better. Make it black. You can say, type your answer here. Okay. And then you can, you know, the question could be, let's see, insert a text box. What questions do you have about Google Slides? I know that's too small, so let me enlarge it for you. They say when you're presenting on a screen to never go below 24, just as a tip, just to make it easier to see. So now we've got this slide, and you go over it, it's selected. You can see here on the left side, you go to File, Download, and then you're going to download it as an image. So it'll only do, I think PowerPoint will do all of your slides for you. So if you want to batch them, you can use our Microsoft account. But if you're using Slides, you just download this as a JPEG. It'll have a background that way. And so now you have an image that is something you can add into your slide. They won't be able to move anything. Everything's taking forever these days, but it'll come up. So let me show you how to insert that. So now I'm going to go ahead and add a new slide. So there's an, see, this is part of the theme of these slides, so it's going to have that background. But I'm going to insert this image that I just created. You're going to upload it from your computer because that's where it went. It went to your computer or your device that you're using. And so you see right here, there is that image that we just created. And so it's going into the background. Now your students can, you see that they cannot do anything with this. They can't manipulate any of the things on the screen. An even better way to do it would be to go to the background button. Then you're going to choose an image and upload it. And there it is again, intro. And then don't say add to theme unless you want every single slide to have the same image. You just click done. And so now, where'd it go? All right, Kelly, where'd it go?
I have no idea.
All right, let me try that again. Browse.
I think it's probably just being slow.
I think you're right, yeah.
Everything is being so slow these days.
I guess the whole world is
right.
Is online, so we'll see if it just gives it a minute. It could be that this is on top.
Yeah.
I could need to change the arrangement. No. Let me see. We're gonna hack this. So new slide. No. Okay, that didn't work. Sometimes things just don't work and you really do have to play with it, just like you tell the kids, don't give up.
Right.
You know, because like right now, here's my slide that I was playing with to create the visual. And then this is where I was trying to
can't mess with
let's see. I want to insert a blank slide. Here we go. Change background, choose image. I'm just going to try it again. But obviously, the biggest issue is that I'm trying to use this slideshow that I've already created and has set backgrounds. So let's do, all right, let me show you a new trick. If you go to the search bar and you put in slides.new, anything .new should work with the Google tools. They bought those that .new ending for the internet. All right, so let's try this again. Blank slideshow. We're going to call this Google questions or slides questions. All right, now a little trick about this title box. Some people always delete it, but there's something that you can do that is it's kind of helpful. If you make it really small and say put it over here on the side in the gray part, it's not going to show to your students. But if you call this, what do you call it? Like question, okay? If you and you can change the size of that font. But if you will name this slide with the title, then when you present it and you look at the slide numbers, see it's named question. So everybody, you know, I usually delete it, but if you're going to be going through the slides with people, that gives that slide a name instead of just being slide number 1.
Makes it a little bit easier to organize.
Yeah. So, you know, if it's something that I didn't realize you could do. And see, it's not even a part of my slide. It's off here to the side, but it's still useful. Mm-hmm. So I am going to get rid of the subtitle. So now let's do this. So let's see, background, choose image from computer. Okay, so there it is. So this is my image that the students cannot move. They can't change it. They can't mess with it. And so what questions do you have about Google Slides? And so you can insert the text box for them to type there. If they know how to do it, then they can do it. But the cool thing also is that now, if I wanted to say make this a math slide, so new slide, you don't even have to have. So I'm going to call this math slide. Then I'm going to move it off to the side because I don't need it on my slide. I want to have a name. Oops. So then you can insert images from your right from your computer. You don't have to go searching in a web page. I'm going to click out of this theme just because I don't need that space taken up. So insert image and then search from the web. Let's say you're doing money. So I like to look for clip art or PNGs. So let's call it pennies clip art. All right. So if I want to do one, let's say I don't want it to be realistic, and I'm going to have them moving pennies to a certain part of the screen. We don't need a giant penny. We need one little penny so we can make more. So resize it by dragging those corners in and out. And then once you do that, you can right click it and make a copy. And then, so Control C for copy, and then Control V as many times as you want. I'm just hitting Control V many, many times. And then I can just move all of those to where I need them to go so that the kids can manipulate them. So those could go on top of these slides. So let's say if I'm copying these and I'm going to move them over here. All right, so now I've got these pennies. So pretend this was a math slide. Whoops. Control Z will undo that. If you don't want to distort things, hold the shift button while you move them, and then they won't be distorted. Whoops, I lied. Okay. All right, so there you go. There's your money that you can that they can manipulate. The background stays as is. So if this was a box, how many pennies do you need to buy a 3-cent car? And they put 3 cents there. So that's the basics. Casey's is very, it's very cute. She's got the apples there. And like I said, her video is super helpful and descriptive on what you need to do in order to create that. And she has a YouTube channel called Shake Up Learning. It's just great. So that is basically the way that Google Slides can be used for interactive activities. And really the possibilities are endless. So is there anything about that someone needs more information about, or little clarification or an idea? Have you done this? Are you using this idea somewhere?
Is Slide Mania, is that like a separate website or an attachment?
It is. So watch. Okay, so I will go to so I'm gonna go to this blank page and I'll put in slidesmania.com. I think it's .com, or is it .org? No, .com. It has templates for PowerPoint and Google Slides. You can pick.
Okay.
So like there's a really cute one you could use, for, really young ones, or, even for your own children if you're making things for them. So once you choose the one you want to use, like I'm using this one right now. And it has all of these are those set backgrounds that it'll let you take the pictures out and change the text, but there are certain parts of it that are locked in, so you don't have to worry about the formatting. It's a really quick way to make good looking slides that to me is a little more engaging. So if you want to use PowerPoint, you do this one. If you want to use slides, you click this one.
Okay.
And it opens right up in your drive. So let's see. So that's the basics of Google Slides as an activity creation. There's another way that I use Google Slides. and it's to curate videos for YouTube. So in the pre-K, I'm using my web page from the school as my lesson plan kind of communication tool, so that parents can find it all the time. And so I have this slideshow that I'm going to add to each week, and then whatever resources we need. So in the slideshow, let me show you, the parents have a link to the story that I want them to watch. But I don't want them just going to YouTube, because then they end up watching Blippi or whoever, whatever on there, and they get kind of off track. So I created a slideshow with the stories. So if they click on that, they're only here at this story. And so they can watch the story, and it ends just right there. They don't get more choices. Sometimes you do get the boxes down here with the ad you have to click out of, but you don't get all those options of all the choices that you normally see if you're just on YouTube. So this is super easy to create also. What I do for this, let's see, I'm going to take all of this out. Let's see.
Excuse me.
All right, so I reset the theme, and I'm going to delete everything so I can show you how I made how I made the video slides. So if you're doing videos on science, you're going to do insert video, and it can come from your Google Drive, something you've created or already saved a link, or you can go by the URL or just search at YouTube. So if I want to do Bill Nye, can't even spell it, Bill Nye, something with Bill Nye. Let's say I'm going to create a link or a whole slide deck of Bill Nye, or whatever, crash course, whatever you want to do. So if I click on that, it turns blue. You can only do one at a time as far as I can tell. Let me try to do two. Nope, I can only do one at a time. And then I select it. So now it's in here. And you can stretch it. It won't stretch the video when it's being shown. But there it is. Leave a little bit of white space or border space so they have somewhere else to click that's not the video, or else they'll end up just getting stuck clicking in the video. So always leave space around your video. If you'll notice on mine, let's see, where are my videos? I don't know where my videos went, but I had a background. This is what happens when you have too many slides. Where'd it go? There it is. But if you want to change the background, you can choose an image that is just, where'd it go? That is on the web. Like I did wavy lines just to make something, just a little decorative, but not too distracting. And so I wanted this one. You could color code your slides, even like if you had the whole slide deck for your class and you want to do ELA is blue and or science is green and whatever. Writing is going to be purple and math is going to be yellow or something like that. So you could color code the background. But when you play this video, it's going to stop right here in this browser. So let me show you at the end. You still have that, like I said, you still have some of the ad situations. I was trying to show you at the end. But anyways, so that's pretty simple to create your own slide deck of videos so that, like I said, my pre-K students are not going off into YouTube land when I'm assigning work to them. So any questions on that? Or ideas, any better ideas? I mean, these are just ways I've done it, but I know there are, I'm sure, many other ways. And you can share this through Google Classroom. You could create it as part of your What's your stream? What do you call it, Kelly? Do y'all don't use Google Classroom in second, do you?
We are actually using it now
Are
because
you?
of this. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, you can put it as your assignment or in your stream. It doesn't matter.
Like if it's something you want them to go back to, let me see. I goofed up and started a note to self. If you join a class as a student before you join as a teacher, you will not be allowed to create a class. So I'm gonna have to get that fixed. But I didn't know that. Since I'm in pre-K, we don't do that. But yeah, your stream is something here that you can add. Like you could add your links to your.
You can also add links. I can't get onto your classroom, obviously.
That's okay.
But, you can also add links
In the classwork?
No, you can add links. What was I thinking? There, hold on, let me think about it for a second. There is.
But if anybody knows, please feel free to share in the chat because you want your students to be able to find the things that you've spent the time to create.
Right.
Sorry. See, squirrel, I just went off to Facebook. But anyway, so that is something that you can curate the videos. And I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this Casey Bell just so it's not clogging up my tabs. But just shakeuplearning.com, how to create movable slides, and go to her YouTube channel. She'll talk you through it. She's so cute. She's from Texas. So here's another one that you can do for an activity. So this is a template that someone created. You can see there are people, these anonymous people, who knows where they're from. Somebody shared this somewhere, but I can only view it. But let's say I want a copy of this so I can create some games for my students. You can tell on here they created a gradient background for this slide. And I'm not sure how they made these pieces, but you don't have to worry about that because all you have to do is change the letter. So let me show you. So at File, you probably know this, but always File, make a copy. And then if you don't want all of it, then you can click a slide and hit Select Slides, or just get all of it. And then it's going to ask you where to put it. I'm just going to tell it to, just to put it in my drive. Nope. And then I can delete it later. So now I have my own copy. So if you see something online and it says view only, always go to File, make a copy, then you have your own to change. It's not connected to the original one whatsoever. It's yours to do whatever you want. So you could, you would want to take all of this out because these are the people that created it and they wanted, they wanted you to know who they were. So you can just delete all that, and then you can change this. So they used a inserting word art instead of a text box to make this letter. So if I wanted to create the word pot, and I just change it like that. So in order to do word art, insert word art. I'll put the word easy. And what I love about word art is you don't have to fool with all this stuff with formatting. So I can make it as big as the whole screen, and I didn't have to fool with the size of the font or anything. And so I just have to play with it. And so that's what they've done here. I'm going to delete that now. So in order to change word art, you do have to double click it. And then so I can change that to an A and then a cat. And then I can change this to an L, and it'll be pal. Then if you want a new slide, so duplicate slide. If you want a new slide, like you could do like word families, and the word families could all have a different, like if these were all short A's, then you could change the background if you wanted to do short O. So, you could color code it that way, but it would be easy for you to create this from someone else's template. I don't know how they created these little puzzle pieces. That's cute. So any questions about that? Or, hopefully, I think that would be very helpful. And then once you've created that, then I'm guessing that you would get the link and then you would go to Classroom and add it in. Where's my Classroom? So if I wanted to add some classwork, and I hit create assignment, I'll call this CVC puzzle, blah, blah, blah. Create, add from Drive. And then there it is. Now, students can view the file, or students make a copy for each file. That's the one that I think everybody likes to use the most. They're not going to work together. They're going to have their own, and you'll be able to see what they do on each one. Then you assign it. So that's how you would get your assignments out of your Drive into Google Classroom for your students to use. And what's neat is you can sit down one day and do all of them for a week, and then and assign them a time. You don't have to be sitting there, okay, it's 7 a.m. on Tuesday, I have to send my assignments. You can do them ahead of time. So, ooh, my computer's taking off. So if no one has any questions about the slides, or I think we kind of went on a rabbit trail with the away from the YouTube, but so the YouTube videos, super helpful to keep them curated in that slide deck. And then the slides are just, they call it the Swiss Army knife. You can do almost anything with it. I do my newsletters that way. I do, like I showed you, my lesson plan on the website. If you go to Bit, I'll show you the link. Bit, you can see it there, bit.ly/Lakeside Pre-K. You can see all the examples of how we've used slides and PDFs to add in some resources for our families. So this is another slide deck that has videos that are linkable. So I linked, I think that's a different PD, but I linked the slides. So if they want to go to movement videos that I've added, they can see a few. Then if they want to go back to the beginning, they can do that. It's very versatile. So if no one has any other questions about YouTube, or if you want to just message me at the end and we can do an online. Since I'm a Google trainer, I can count these as one-on-one trainings. So I'm here to, I'm committed to helping people. So let me know if you need any assistance with any of that. So the next thing is creating a Google form that would be visual and interactive for your student. So again, I'm going to do forms.new, and it's just going to pop up a new form. Now, this is the messy way to do it. It's not saved in any particular folder. It's only on your main Google Drive. So if you want it to be in this specific spot where it needs to live, open it from that folder. So I'm being kind of quick and messy, but it's just because I want to make sure I share as much as I can. So if I say, if I'm doing shapes, okay, and it'll change the name of your form to, or the title to whatever. So question 1, see the little picture button is the one that kind of changes your form into something a little more interactive. Let's say they can't read and they're at home with family. So I'm going to do a Google image search for a hexagon clip art. And I like to do the word clip art because usually clip art isn't quite as risque or questionable as just regular things. All right, so it inserted a giant hexagon. I don't need a giant hexagon. I need a small hexagon. So you can click on it, drag the corners, and there it is. And then so, a parent could be helping the student. And you could either make it multiple choice or short answer. Or you could just say, do you know what this is? And there could be a yes, no. Do you know what this is? And then, so multiple choice, yes, no. It kind of guesses what you want, according to, and then other, I kind of like other because they can put in what, like the person that's doing the little quiz for them can put in what they said. You know, that's kind of nice sometimes if they have like a misconception, there it is. They can type in what they said.
And I will say for second grade, we've used this a lot. For this next week, we've done it for a lot of comprehension questions.
Yeah.
So like we can't obviously give them their quizzes. So this is how we're giving them their quizzes and stuff.
Yeah, and you can like put an image from your work and pop it right in there.
And we've also inserted videos into it so that they can watch the video and then answer the question.
Now, I have heard someone say that you can use some of our Google Read and Write tools in order to read the form to the student. So Kelly, have you done that, or do you know?
We have not done that. Since we're using CKLA, we inserted the read aloud.
Okay.
A slide. So that they're reading the read aloud, and then they're coming here and then answering the questions. And then for the vocab part, there's another video that we created that we inserted into the form, and then they answer the question.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, so like if I'm doing like in pre-K, there's only 5 basic shapes that we focus on, but at the end of the year, we also want to know how advanced they are. So we do the 3D shapes and a few other basic shapes. And so, of course, I teach all of them because, you know, if I'm going to be judged on it, then I need to teach it to them. But so in order to just make another one, just like always require the questions in like a quiz, so that way they can't skip it. So you hit require, then duplicate it. So this is always your copy or duplicate these 2 pieces of paper. So click that, and so now you see there's 2 hexagons, and then just delete that. Delete. I said delete. All right, it won't delete. Why won't it delete? Oh, there it is. 3 dots. Remove. All right, and then now I'm going to add a new image. So Google search, rectangle, clip art. And so I try to keep them, you know, of course, as simple as possible so they don't start saying, no, that's a frame, or, you know, whatever. So like this blue one I've used before. And so then you can resize it. There's, you know, like there's some other PD that has been shared. And I think actually in a couple of days, I'm going to do one a little deeper on forms, and then someone else is going to do one for older kids. So the one I'm going to do is where you can format the answer sheet and all these things. But this is just a way to get your visuals in there so that they can see what you're doing and someone can help them. And then if I duplicate this again, then I forgot about the 3 dots. Can remove this, and then there's also, as Kelly said, an option for a video. So if you want them to watch part of a video, you know, again, Bill Nye. So you can get them to watch part of the video and then answer, you know, what was this about? Main idea. That kind of thing. And then you would change the type of question. Hold on, where'd it go? Why won't it show me the question type? Okay, so you would put the question underneath it, I guess. Weird.
They're making a caption, I guess.
What's that?
They're making that a caption, I guess.
Okay, yeah, is that new? I don't remember doing that.
I don't remember it doing that when we did it last week, so.
Okay, right, that's crazy. I don't know. Anyways, don't give up. Just keep on clicking things. But you could say, watch the video and then answer the question below. just do, you know, that kind of thing. One thing I forgot to show you on the videos, I have to show you because this is just the best thing. And like I said, if you're the owner of the videos, you can always click on the gear. More. Come on, open. All right. So let's say you do not want your students to watch the entire Bill Nye video. Okay. There are certain videos that the introduction of the video just it's a waste of time. So on format options, video playback, you can tell it that you only want it like we use Jack Hartman all the time for the kids, the little ones, and about 10 seconds of his beginning is just a lot of silliness and annoying if you hear it all the time. So we skip to like the first 10 seconds. And so it'll show you kind of where it is. And let's say you only want them to watch 2 minutes of it, or, you know, so you do 2. So they're only going to get 2 minutes of this video in this segment. And then you can copy this slide and then reformat it if you want them to do 2 more. It's kind of like creating your own ed puzzle, if you've heard of that. But you can break up the videos, chunk them up, and do whatever you want that way. It's and then you could always link that to your form if you really wanted a specific section of it, so you could control what they're watching.
Yeah.
So is that no question? Just kind of, does anybody think they could use this? Yes.
Any questions?
Nope. All right. Well, let's see what else. I lost my slides.
Entirely too many open.
Where are my slides? Oh, I think I lost them when I was showing Slides Mania. You have too many tabs. Don't judge. Don't judge.
Never.
All right, I'm going to go back here. Where is it? Maybe it's in the wrong browser. I don't know. There's a lot of things you can do to get lost in Google. So then the other thing that, all right, I'm going to start closing some things up so that I can clean up this mess. Don't need that. I apologize.
You're good.
I really don't know what I did with my other slide. Sorry, I'm going to find it. So one of the things that helps your documents kind of be a little more, I don't know, I guess the word interesting is, that's not it, is using emojis. So let me show you, done. Like if I wanted to use these, if I wanted to add directions and give the kids visuals, then I could, not that one. Come on, Kelly.
Don't look at me. You're the one that has all the browsers open.
Hold it.
All the tabs.
All the tabs. I need them.
Oh, I get it.
Okay. So let's say I wanted to add some directions and I wanted to use some emojis. So if I click on this and I do insert, let's see, do a text box. Okay. So I can insert special characters that kind of give students a visual to complete something. So like if I say read, then there might be, I don't know what that is, or book. So say if you want them to read, you could add, if you click it, it adds it in there, and it's the same as font. So if you want it to be bigger, then just select it and make it bigger. So your first directions could be read this. And then the next one, you could do a pencil and you could say write this. It's easier and cuter if you go to emojipedia.org and they can just pop in like whatever you're looking for. Like they're trying to be funny with a pill, a mask, and something else for sickness. But if you wanted them to write next, then you could do the pencil. And it does give you all the choices of like skin color. You can change it to any skin color you want. So then the next one you could Control V and add that. You could say, write your response. So they kind of get the idea that there's something to read and there's something to write. So those emojis really help you out. I'm really confused where my slide went. I'm going to look through my history because I know it's in here somewhere.
It's got to be there somewhere.
It just literally disappeared. Unless it's over here. Like she said, I had too many windows open.
Oh, dear Lord.
Stop, Kelly.
It's just me loving you.
Yep, there it is. Shame on me. Okay, I created this accidentally in a different Google browser. Oops. So that's why I couldn't find it. But that's like I said, that's for another day. Come on. The internet is so slow today.
So slow.
Okay, so here we go. I did not title these slides as I recommended earlier. Oh, I did, didn't I? Look at me. No, I didn't. So this is the Slides Mania slide deck that I was using, and it has tons of more pages. So like this is a slide I created for information to get back with me. On Fridays, they will have a time slot for you to do one-on-one kind of help if you want to have someone call you one-on-one from the technology department. And then this link down here is for a form that you can fill out, and you can give feedback and let them know what else you need training on. So I'm going to drop that link into the chat in just a minute. So yeah, Slides Mania is how I use that. I am so sorry. But if we look at this, it has so many slides already added. And if you do not want them, you just select them and delete them. So you can just delete what you don't need. So that is the tour of all of my Google Drives and Chrome profiles. But is there anything specific that anyone has a question on or thinks that that they would need more assistance with? I'm going to get that link to the form and drop it in the chat. So Kelly, if they have any questions, let me know.
I will. I don't see any yet.
Copy. Chat. And there we go. And does everybody know that if you don't have a mouse and you need to right click on something, take 2 fingers, and they call it the snake bite, and you just you tap the trackpad, and the right click menu will pop up. So whatever you're supposed to right click on to copy it or paste it or whatever, take 2 fingers and just tap it. It's a great trick for your students that don't have a mouse, because sometimes the 2 fingers on the trackpad are very clumsy. But you know, if I'm on an image and I want to copy it, I just hit it with my 2 fingers, and that menu pops up where I can copy it. So I dropped the link in for the chat. Yes, the video recording will be available in that same spreadsheet where you found the link for this. So in place of the Google Hangout link, it'll say recorded link. And then if you look to the right of the description, I'll add the slides so that if you want to go back and use those. And it'll be a version where you could click and make a copy if you want to, so that if you want to use it for any reason. But yeah, there'll be a recorded version of this. Thank you, Kelly, for helping.
I don't think I did much, but of course. Well, there's a recorded version of every single PD that's gone down so far if you need anything else.
Yeah, let me show you. So you all have gotten a link to this spreadsheet. Goodness, it is so slow today. Slow. It's like, no, I don't want to. But this spreadsheet, so if we're like right now, we're in this week. What's today? The 23rd. So this spreadsheet has all of these activities. So see, like this group has already added their recording for earlier today. So you can go on YouTube, click that link, and they've already got their recording. If you look on last week, see all of these recorded link. So I did a few intro to Google and some advanced Google last week, and I did one on Friday that's was kind of geared towards pre-K and kindergarten. Of course, useful for any early grade, but or struggling students. But that's where you will find the recorded links. So yeah, check that spot, and thank you so much for popping in. I'm just going to stay right here in case anybody else has a question. You can ask questions privately, by the way. I didn't know if anybody knew that or not, but it doesn't have to be, as far as I know, there doesn't have to be a question sent to everyone. Kelly, do you know?
I have not tried that, but I think if you click on
the person.
Yes.
So like yeah. Like if you click on that person, could be fake news. I know in Zoom you can.
Yeah, I haven't tried that with here.
I haven't either. I know on Zoom you can. So there's so many choices you have for for connecting, for creating. I mean, the fire hose is real right now. You are being just blasted with everything, and you just have all the choices in the world, to be honest. If you want to do it, there's a way. You just have to
play around.
Don't give up. Find the clicks, ask the person. Check on Facebook has been amazing.
Yeah.
The groups for the things people are sharing. It's just crazy. So I'm going to stop sharing because you don't need to see what I'm clicking all around like a crazy person. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go so that you can pop to the next session if you would like, and that way I can get this video downloaded and uploaded to the sheet. But please reach out if you have any questions. Like I said, there is my, somewhere's my information. Where am I? Here I am. Monica Spillman, Spillman_Monica@hcde.org. If you need anything, let me know.
And I'm _K at hcde.org if you need anything.
You said Kelly _K?
Yep, I'm Munson_K.
Emily, you're welcome. I hope it was helpful. I know it seems kind of scattered all over, but you just never know what someone needs. So I appreciate you taking a minute to learn some new stuff. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
See you in Lakeside.
Yeah, maybe.
One day.
One of these days.
Bye.